Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today, we're going to be talking about Maman Brigitte a little bit, giving you guys a little rundown of her abilities, leveling order, some builds that I've been, working on, builds that I think are very strong with the character. Overall, first impressions, I think she's very fun. I think she's a different character. No other character really plays like her, and I always think that's exciting. Character that is unique, even if she is busted. I don't think she's that busted, but a lot of people think she's very busted. Even if she is strong, I think it's always interesting to see new characters come out that play a lot differently than others. So I appreciate the character. I'm excited to see her played in SPL, see her played even more. Quite frankly, she's going to be a cool character to watch at the top level of how players are going to min-max with her. Where is she going to be played? Assume jungle, but where? Maybe solo, maybe mid. But all that stuff combined together, I'm really excited to see her played. Played a little bit in ranked, played against her a little bit in ranked. I have some thoughts. Let's walk through the character. So starting with the character, we're just going to run through the abilities first. The one is called Party Trick. Very easy. It is actually, let's do this first. Put all these to normal so you guys can see what they look like. So this is what the one looks like. And then once you actually proc it, there's another circle that spawns around you. Very simple. It is a ticking damage around you, kind of like Bacchus Burp. The one big thing about the character is that it stays for a second. So you see she's still taking a little bit of tick damage. Cancel it, stop it, whatever. Takes a little bit of damage for a little bit. And then around you is a little stun. I guess we probably should start with the passive because this is the most important part about her. But yeah, now we'll talk about the passive. So damaging an enemy with a basic attack or ability afflicts enemies with soul spikes. Every time you do any tick of damage, auto ability, you'll be putting a soul spike around the enemy. So though you see those little ticks around her. On the fifth one, they all go into her and they do a little burst of damage. So you see the burp was doing this, and then this is doing a separate amount of damage. The 2 is a little snake ability. So you can make it go really short, really long. And this makes it so they get double the nails from other abilities. So then you dash in. See it procs, gives 2 nails. So it basically doubles the amount that the soul spikes get. So if you burp, just like this, that's only going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you this... then this, it's going to be 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, whatever. Because the fifth one always goes in, does the damage, and then it starts counting over again. The 3, as you saw, is a dash. Just a little line ability. Nothing too insane. This also procs for the soul spikes, so that is something you want to play around. But the interesting thing about the character, also the ult, is a circle that gets bigger the more nails you have on the enemies and more nails you procced. So say you do a little bit here. You have now 2, and it's now a little bit bigger. It's just a little circle that doesn't knock up. Nothing too insane there. But the gameplay loop of the character revolves around soul spikes, which is the passive. The rest of her abilities really do not do that much damage. But if you combine a lot of this together, let's just do like a full build. This is not the build. We're just building a bunch of items. So say you just do that, just burst a little bit. She actually has a lot of burst. But this is late game when you get some power online. She is a late game slanted jungler. Yes, her early game can be okay. Yes, her mid game is fine. But her late game, she has true one-shot potential against almost anyone. Honestly, even frontliners and solos take a lot of damage from her. But those are her abilities. Now for build, I played her in mid a couple games, so I'll just talk about my mid lane build with her. I went Sands, and then I went into Pythags, into Deso or Divine, depending. Then I went Typhons, Rod, and then my last item I ended up going Magi's, and I went into alternate timeline. So this is what my build looks like. 30% pen, good amount of cooldown, 40% cooldown, some lifesteal. I think she is not reliant on lifesteal, but I do think she should have a little bit in the build. Overall, this is something I'd like to do in the mid lane. In jungle, I don't think too much changes. I don't know entirely what junglers are building. I played her, I think, 1 game in the jungle, so my build might look a little bit different. But I like going I, and I like eventually getting the Protector. Party Punch is also very good on her. It's just extra burst, extra power, more burst. Even in the mid game, always going to be insane. In jungle, also, I've seen a little bit of Polly. I think Polly's pretty bad on her. But in jungle, I'd do something like Dumorb, Deso, and then maybe you could go Magus, Typhons, or a little bit of lifesteal, and then whatever you want last. You don't really need Reaver. She's not really a great Reaver character. Also show you this just to prove it to everyone. The one does not proc item effects unless you use the actual explosion part of it. So that's something you should know. And I've been really liking Magi's on her because you want to be able to blink in. And yes, you go blink on her. You can go Beads Aegis, but it just feels really unintuitive. But like blink in auto, and you just one shot. My one tip with her before getting farther into the video is be smart with your 3. It's your safety. Like, you don't even have to use your 3 in a lot of these. Just like that. You also don't even have to dash away. Your damage is insane. It is very, very strong in the late game. You have one-shot potential. Your weakness comes down to you have very little actual CC. Yes, this is technically a CC, but that long cast time and then also just not being a massive knockup, it's not really the best CC. If you get to like the really big like 5 orb ultimate, it's a little insane. But this is how big it ends up getting. Can almost hit, actually can hit 6. Oh, they're just knockup immune. Unfortunate. That's what the ult is. Every time you cancel the 1, you're using mana. So like right now, 1460 mana. Use, cancel, use, cancel. See how much mana it uses. So it's something you have to kind of keep in mind. Spamming it, yes, it's a lot of damage, but you use a ton of mana when you do it. Ability leveling, level 1, you get your 1. Level 2, usually you get the 3 just for safety. You're not a strong character at 1. You're not a very strong character at level 2. But level 3, you start to get a little bit of damage. She's still not a great early game character, but she does have damage here. At 4, put a point into your 1. Ult at 5, get some more points into your 1. I prefer to get my 1 and my 2 maxed first because the 2 gives cooldown. The 1 just gives a boatload of damage. The ult is just 50 base damage. It's really not that worth, but I would max it before my 3. So I go 2 here, 1 here, and then I max out the 2 points into the ult when I can. Actually, I think you can do 1 more. And then like that. And that's how the leveling looks. Now, if you're playing Maman, what is your job in team fights? Very simply, you're a cleanup character. Or if somebody doesn't have Aegis and you can just one-shot them, obviously feel free. Something, you have a lot of burst damage. Go for it whenever you want. But you are a cleanup character. You're very good when the fights have kind of fell apart into just a mess and you can kind of pick people off. That's why she's very good in ranked, and I think she feels a lot stronger. But you're not the engage. You're not the second character in. You're maybe the third character in. And I think she's pretty bad in this current mage solo meta. But when that changes, Warrior's back in solo. There's not as much poke, not as much CC. I think she'll feel a lot better. And again, farm. Get your farm. You're not an early game character. Think of like kind of Ao Kuang, where, yeah, I mean, you can kill early. I mean, he has an execute. She just has, like, decent damage. But it's that late game that is really scary. So that's what you want to play around. Lastly, some tips with her. See the double ticks? You want to get your 2 out first. And you want to get your ult out first before using, like, the rest of your abilities in these fights. So you're getting, like, the two nails. And without that, you're just going to get 1 nail. So your damage drops off a ton. So always lead with your 2. Always lead with your ult. Beyond that, she's still a pretty straightforward character. You just kind of get like games on her, get comfortable with her, get used to using the 3. And again, the 3 is like a last resort. That is your safety. This is not damage. This is you getting into the enemy so that you have survivability inside of them. It's not you going in trying to execute the character with your dash. A lot of the times, especially if you have this, your autos are going to be proccing double also. So it's just extra damage you get there. That's Maman Brigitte. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, anything that I missed out and you guys are curious about, drop them down below. But yeah, let's win some ranked games with Maman. She's fun. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoy the video. See you guys next time. Peace.